Okay, so here we are. It's the beginning of the quarter. You just received a rock. It might be your first rock ever, or maybe your 100th. But this is going to be the trick to how you master rocks, how you run rocks and not let them run you. Because what tends to happen is we get excited. We know it's the most important thing to help the company, to win that quarter, to win the year. And what happens? Before we know it, we're 45 days in. We haven't even touched the thing. Our on tracks start to sound like on track, and then they start to come off track way too late. We hit roadblocks, everybody. Everybody's cramming at the end of the quarter to get their rocks done. So we're hitting blockers. Calendars are full all over the place. So here's some tricks and tips. I've been doing rocks for more than a decade. Some things I've learned, some big mistakes I've learned along the way for you to do yourself. Rocks are not simple. They're hard. They're tricky. We have to rely on other people. We can't say, well, I'm just going to write rocks that don't rely on anybody else. Well, that's a cop-out. We can do this, and we can do it with some simple things on how to execute a great rock. The first thing we do, we win before the session even starts, right? We know this rock setting quarter is coming. We live in the 90-day world, and one of the tools we can use is our clarity break. We sit down with our notepad. We think about what's the big picture? What are the things I need to work on in the business? We can stub out a lot of the rocks we know we're going to want to do before we even go into the quarterly session. If the leadership team, if we're a member of a department, we're still going to have our quarterly rollover. Maybe it's in the shape of an L10, but at some point we're going to have to sit down and someone's going to look at us and say, hey, what do you think the most important things for you to get done over the next 90 days are? And you should have that prepared. Your brain, it doesn't work well if you show up, your brain's blank, your paper's blank. So have that pre-thought. It can really help you get ahead, and you can even start to think. I'm not talking hours. I'm talking even 5, 10, 20 minutes thinking about these things. Hey, how much of that could I get done realistically? So do some pre-thinking. That will help tremendously. So that's kind of point number one. Point number two is once we get this rock, it's the first week. We need to start working right away, off the blocks. I'm doing this on day one. And so I'm starting to think about this, and I use the Rock Planner tool, okay? I'll provide a link to it so anybody and everybody can use it. It's a simple tool, and this isn't a long process. This is 5-10 minutes per rock. Here's what we're doing with the Rock Planner tool. We're identifying who our stakeholders are that should be involved in this. Who do I need to consult on it? You could even use the RACI paradigm. Who's responsible and accountable? More importantly to me is, who do I need to consult on? Meaning that I need to get their feedback. Who do I need to inform to keep in the loop as we go? This really helps us prevent us to get to the end of the quarter and you say, this rock is done. And people are like, it is? Question mark. Well, this allows us to identify all the stakeholders. The next thing we're doing is we're just creating the milestones. What's the major 2, 3, or 4 steps that you would observe throughout the quarter that are the major milestones so that you know and can keep it on track? This also creates a mini project plan that you can share with other people to make sure we have alignment. Many times our rocks have prerequisites, or our rock's a prerequisite for another rock, and this really helps align these things so we're not getting in each other's way. The last piece of this is one of my favorite, is a pre-mortem for any project manager out there. This is just a risk assessment. What could go wrong? We ask ourselves, hey, we're the night of and our rock has failed. What went wrong? If we can think about these things in advance, then we can mitigate these risks or possibly come up with a workaround. Doing that just by yourself and not sharing with anybody will improve your rock completion percentage by double digits for sure. Even more so, it'll help when you share it with other people. I'm always taking this, and this is phase 3, right? So we're thinking about it in advance, we're using our rock planning tool, and then we're sharing and discussing it with people. We're getting alignment. This is really all within the first week to 10 days when I receive a rock of what I'm trying to do. I'm sharing it with my leader. I'm sharing it with my teammates. I'm walking through it. Even if I have to buy lunch for someone, I am walking it through it, making sure we have alignment. I'm defining what done means. I'm asking for blind spots. Hey, what am I missing here? You'll get all kinds of great information. Hey, that attorney you're going to be relying on always takes vacation in July, so you can't expect them to be doing work during that period. You'll miss that milestone. Oh, great. I'm glad I know that now. And then just jokingly, many times, I want to know in advance, whoever I am reporting to, I want them to sign off on this plan. And jokingly, sometimes I say, okay, here's the pen and sign it, and they'll sign it. Or we just get a verbal confirmation that this is what done looks like. And this is very helpful. We write rock smart, but as we know, there is still a lot of gray area in there, and I don't like to leave it up. Tie goes to the runner. In our case, a lot of times, whether a rock's done or not goes to our manager. So we want to lock that down the best we can. This is good project management, and it's the most important thing for the company. Every once in a while, in this planning cycle, really helps you. Right when you get that rock, think about it. Write that plan. Every once in a while, you'll find a small word in there like, I can get this done. I know I can. It's going to be tough, but I can get it done. But this small word really makes it hard. And you have about, let's just call it a 5-day window to go back to your team in that next L10 and say, hey guys, I want to tweak this word and here's why. And there's some allowance for making that small tweak when you're just a few days in. That doesn't fly when you're 5 days to the end of the quarter and say, oh, it's done, but I had to change this word. No go. Not fair. That's not accountability. So think about it, dig in, use that first 10 days to really get this right. If you do that, you've done all the hard part. Now we just got to go and execute. Once I have that alignment, the fourth thing I'm doing, and this is probably in the first 2 weeks, is I'm getting all my meetings booked that I think I need. Okay. And these are the milestone meetings. If I have a workshop where I got to get the team together, I know I need team's feedback. I'm going to set the presentation date of what that is because everybody's schedules are busy. I'm going to set my review meeting with my manager. I'm not going to set it the rock eve, the night before the quarterly session or when these rocks are due. I'm going to set it 2 or 3 weeks prior to that. Because likely I'm going to get some last minute feedback. Yeah, I think you're done here, man. You just got one more yard to go, and it's this thing. If you make this tweak, I'm good. I'm good to go on this rock. It's done. And so you've got that time to correct with any of that additional and extra feedback. So get all your meetings scheduled. If you wait to do that, guess what? Everybody's trying to get reviews and feedback and the rock over that finish line, and the calendars will be full. So just get your meetings on the calendar right away. And this is week 2. If you've done those things in the first 2 weeks, your rock completion percentage has now gone up to like a 50-60% average to 80-90. You're going to be hitting some 100%. This is where rocks are won. And then we just go and execute. We use the team. We're not afraid of saying off track in our L10 meetings. Look, off track is not a means of failure. Oh, you said off track. It's I need help. You should wave that flag early. If you need help and you really think there's some challenges here, then use that time with the team. We've all agreed that these rocks are the most important thing for the business. So wave the flag, get some help when you need it. 2 things I've seen, both as someone that's executed rocks, as well as a manager of teams with hundreds of rocks in a quarter, is you see the 2 differences in execution. One is just silent. A rock gets assigned, you never hear about it. It's silent. It's on track. It's on track. It's on track. The last week it goes off track. Or maybe even worse, it's just on track and then someone says done. You're like, I haven't seen anything of it. Can you send it to me? You don't get it. A week or 2 goes by, still no work product. And you're just left questioning and wondering. And then eventually it's, hey, I didn't get it done. And when you actually dig in and talk about it, this kind of silent way of getting a rock done or not done versus the other way, let's just say both of these rocks are failed rocks. The other way, what I've just described, someone's come out of the gate, they've planned, they showed me their rock plan, they got the meetings, we're doing workshops, feedback sessions, we're checking in, and someone fails a rock. Now, which one would we rather? In one way, I've seen all of the work, the whole way I've been taken through the journey, not wasting a lot of my time, just some quick check-ins to let me know what's going on. I would much rather have that second. I think we all would. We've seen the work. We have trust that someone is caring for this thing, and it's very important to them to get it done. So just by doing that, you're going to build trust in your teams. And when you do have a rock that just doesn't get across the end zone in the last minute, Nobody's worried about your performance. Nobody's worried about your accountability or that you're adhering to the values of hard work or do what you say or whatever those values are. They've seen you do the work. So lay it out. These things trickle down. Your performance and how you handle your work, how you organize your work, how you communicate, how you work within the team, get feedback and get things over the finish line. This is one of those things you walk the talk. Your team sees you operate this way, and these are peers, these are managers, these are people that work for you. They're going to follow it. They're going to see a execution at a different level, and they're going to want to copy. So you're going to have a big impact on the organization. If you're operating at this level of rock mastery, then you're going to see a lot of people around you. And guess what happens? More rocks get done. More rocks get done on time. And you take away all of this stress, this cram period, the last 2 weeks of getting rocks done. By then, everybody's just saying, done. We're done. 2 weeks out. Oh, I got a few small tweaks. I've got information from everybody that was on my rock planner as stakeholders, and we're good to go. And it becomes a lot smoother as you glide into your next quarter. And now you've got a good frame of mind to go do your clarity break and prepare for the next quarter. So let's just remember this, 80% is the goal. It's not 100%. We're driving to 80%. More importantly, how we do it. And that's what I want to stress. It's going to be less stressful on you because you've done the planning, you've done the thinking, you've brought your team along with you, and you're going to complete more rocks. And remember, the path to success is paved in rocks. Go get them.